From Our Half Acre Homestead, and today I harvested my leeks. So we're gonna be chopping and washing these and dehydrating them. I went out in the garden today and I harvested my leeks, and by God, they are beautiful. Use my other stock pot for... Okay, I'm gonna cut these in half and then split them lengthwise, because the problem with leeks and onions, mostly leeks though, is they get dirt in between their layers. So I like splitting them down the middle like that. And then when I chop them up, I don't blanch leeks for dehydrating. I don't, because by the time you got them all cut up and split up, they're such a lightweight herb, like a lightweight onion. And I am keeping as much of this as I can. What my garden is lacking in variety, it is making up for in quantity. I've left my beans to go to seed, although I did pick some the other day. Okay, I'm going to set aside my chopping now to get this rinsed and on the dehydrator. And I still have that much of my big stock pot to go. Okay, so before I put these through the strainer, I like to scrub them together to make sure as many as these little rings as possible have been broken up to make dehydrating easier. Alrighty, I'm going to take these over the sink. Drain them. Oh, wait a minute. See what I mean? You want to make sure these are all apart to the best of your ability. I mean, they will dry regardless, but you want them to dry faster. I want these to dry overnight so that I can put my next batch in tomorrow. I don't feel like getting out my other dehydrator. And strain them and rinse them, and then we'll commence to dehydrate. Okay. Now you can't see my London Sunshine dehydrator at the moment, it's over here. But we're gonna start putting on, and I'm gonna put this plastic one in the very bottom, plus my dehydrator opens this way, just to catch anything that falls or anything like that. Am I putting it in the right way? Yes, I am. Okay, so we're going to now start putting our leeks on here. And yeah, I have a feeling that this is, I'm going to have to put my dehydrator out in the porch on too. You can put them on fairly thick, just not too thick. You don't want them resting on the tray above. And we'll be back when I have my trays full. Okay, I have 6 full trays of leeks in the dehydrator. We're going to shut this. Now we don't want the leeks, they're more of an herb than anything, so we don't want to really dehydrate them at a high temperature, or they will lose a lot of their flavors. So we're going to hit temperature. What do we got here? On, no, temp. Less. No, not 95. We're going to do them at 113. And the time, we're going to say a full 10 hours. All right? I have more. I'm going to chop up some more and put them in here because I have that much more to do. So I'm going to be loading up my porch dehydrator as well. Alrighty, I got several trays of my Nesco out here. And we're gonna start with this last batch. If you don't have enough of these mesh trays to cover each one, then just make sure that your top one and your bottom one has a mesh tray, so that when you rotate your trays, which often you have to do with this kind of dehydrator, if anything falls through, it'll always be caught on a mesh tray. I'm gonna put these ones on here. And then I'm gonna put the lid on and set it for 115 degrees. Okay, so I ended up with 6 trays, 6 trays on the Nesco, and the full London Sunshine. So it's time to jar it up. Okay, this is how I do this. I saved these peach jars. They're almost a half gallon. And they've got really nice lids and everything. Now you can't can with these. Some people will can with store-bought jars, and you know what? I can understand why. Because our home canning jars and our home canning lids aren't made for industrial strength. These are actually a higher quality jar than home canning. However, I am not advocating canning with store-bought jars. Slap these together a little bit. And now let's have a look. And I'm going to check my bottom rack just to make sure it's as dry as the top. Yes. Okay. Okay, that jar is crackerjack full. Stuff it down. Let's see if I can get the rest of this in here. And if the rest of this goes in here, then I will be able to fill up a second jar. Now that jar is chock-a-block full. Look. So, these jars are almost a half gallon. So, and I crammed them full. So I'm gonna say I have like a gallon and a half of tightly crammed Leeks. Bounty! And yes, the tops that I cut off, I saved the best of them, washed them, put them in a 1 gallon freezer bag, and they're in the freezer waiting for carrots to be peeled and put in the peelings put in the freezer, and for me to harvest my celery bottoms out of the garden to make vegetable broth. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, I'll never complain about having too much of anything, whether it's zucchini or leeks or love. Mwah! Take care, God bless.